This video is for web integration to help you assemble your system on site. We're taking off the guards right now. 3 plexiglass panels, spring plunger holders. That's like your current system. Die switch has to come off. That'll be packed in a box. Die switch plugs in the same way it does on your 334 push-pull connector. Take out the steel wool die and pack it separately. 2 cams, key in the front. Ram is at the top of the stroke to take it out. There's your steel rolled die. Okay. Kind of lower the ram down so that the stops are almost touching. Go into palm button mode, inching mode. Take off the sensor. You want to take off, next thing we're going to do is take the feed off. Sensor comes off first, goes on last. Taking the material out of the nip rollers. Feed mounts to the press, as you know. Leave the die mounting block in place and remove the 2 outside screws, which mount the feed slide to the feed mounting bracket. Feed will be front heavy as soon as the screws come out, so you want to put your hand under there to support the front of the feed. You'll be getting a stand to mount the feed to. Exactly when you connect the cables or disconnect the cables is kind of your choice. You probably want to wait to connect the cables to the electronics package until after you've mounted it on the press. Got your power gray cable, which goes to the power box, and then the main cable going over to the feed. Okay. Cables are disconnected now. Now the feed goes into the Hoffman arm, which is now there. We're going to be removing the Hoffman arm. There's a swivel plate up on top, and we're going to leave that swivel plate in place and remove which set screws are coming out to
loosen up those 4 here,
yeah.
and we're lifting the whole assembly out.
Yeah, and we're going to leave the whole assembly together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No electronics.
But not the electronics.
So electronics come out.
So the electronics sit in this little cradle here, and then they're secured with these. It is secured with these 4 screws once it's in place. So, okay, and you can see how that's front to front, so that you can get the swivel in the correct orientation. We have the same thing up top. Are we going to mark, is there just one way for that to go?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can loosen up those 4 too, if you like. They're metric,
Okay.
or those 4, depends what you like.
Yeah. Okay. Obviously the die switch plugs into the power box. Probably the first thing you want to do when you get the system is place your press and get it leveled, and then assemble the rest of it onto it, because it's,
This and this way.
yeah, you want to make sure that it's not leaning forward, because you want the oil to flow toward the back of the reservoir so that it can be recirculated.
You can use the shims.
You've got your foot pads, the green foot pads, and you can add shims to level it. Okay. The exhaust will undoubtedly be unscrewed. That's where that goes right there, and it just screws in.
Muffler is like this.
The muffler. Here's your quick air connect. So that's what it looks like with the muffler removed. Quick reminder of where the connectors go. This is constant power up here, so this is going to the Y, and the Y goes to the rewind motor and to the conveyor, rewind motor and to the extractor, and the intermittent power, the one down here, goes to the conveyor motor. Your electrician will be bringing in your 3-phase power to the through the bottom of the press box. As far as the input roller table, we're going to take the whole thing off in one piece. So it's these brackets are going to come off with the rest of it. So you'll just be putting 2 screws back in here and 2 screws back in here that go right into the side of the press to mount the roller table. The conveyor and the extractor and the rewind is probably the most complicated thing you have to put back together. These brackets will be on the press. The horizontal slide bar is a piece. It goes from that vertical piece at the end all the way to here, and it mounts to the press just with these one screw on this side and another one opposite it. You've got your blue markers to show positions. As we work our way back, we've got this vertical support for the conveyor. The blue tape will be there to show you how to put it on. It's mounted with these 4 screws underneath. The slide, blue tape indicates where the slide should be. The rewind, blue tape indicates where it should be. And it's got 2 plates securing it to the slide bar, 4 screws for each plate. The end bar, this is a separate piece, and it dowel pins into this and then gets screwed in, threaded here. Side table, and the mounting for the rewind. The horizontal bar goes between these 2 plates, and then screws go all the way through with nuts on one side, and the position is marked with the blue tape. The rewind, here you can see the extension spring mounting. Might want to have some blue tape here too, Mike. Is that going to come apart? Do they need to put it back together?
No, that stays.
That'll stay? Okay.
Disconnecting that spring. That's probably going to attach here.
Yep.
And this we're going to secure with the tie wraps to
Yep.
the frame.
Yeah, so this whole thing comes off in one piece.
In
right?
one piece, yeah, and the blue tape is in the frame.
Yep. Okay, good.